Welcome to Your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 557. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book but you need some help getting it done, or perhaps you're at the stage where you need help reaching more readers to let them know about your book, you are in the right place. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 19 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they have the ability to turn a quote-unquote non-author into a published one. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. "But words are things, and a small drop of ink, falling like dew upon a thought, produces that which makes thousands, perhaps millions, think." Lord Byron. And once again, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. And this is another one of my little soapbox mini rants, as I call it. My mini rants are pretty gentle, though. That's been on my mind. And you can also count on the fact that whenever I bring up one of these, even if I've covered it before, because of all the recent, the experiences and lessons and everything that's happened since I talked about it last time, there will always be new material. So even if you think you've heard something here, you probably haven't. So the same is true today for this topic. So I present today the key differences between the written and spoken word. And this specifically addresses those nonfiction authors out there who are thinking they can maybe kick out an expert book without going to the trouble of actually writing it. They've been told, no problem, just record yourself talking out your book. Then at best, all you'll need to do is just copy edit your transcript, and there you go, you got a book. And not so fast. There are actually three reasons why it's maybe not the brilliant, super easy, super simple idea you've been told it is. And before I get started, to be clear, I'm not talking about the physical act of writing for those who are unable to do so because of physical limitations. Especially as someone myself, I'm dealing with carpal tunnel syndrome in both of my wrists right now. So I understand that, the physical limitations around writing. What I'm talking about here is intent. About originating the writing of your book as a speech and believing that only minor editing will be required to make it read like a book. Because I would certainly never fault anyone for not being able to undertake the physical act of writing. That's horrible. I'm well aware that there are many physical conditions that necessitate finding different ways of physically writing a book. So remember, as I continue here with my three key differences between the written and spoken word, I'm talking about intent. If you have to talk your book into existence for physical reasons, but your intent is to speak it the way you would write it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. What I'm talking about is you're speaking it the way you'd speak it just as a speaker and thinking that it will automatically read like a book. So hopefully I'm clear on that. So here are the three key differences between the written and the spoken word. The spoken tool employs speaking tools, so verbal tools, not literary tools. The tools that great writing is made of are literary tools like contrast, analogies, metaphors, sensory writing, and showing rather than telling, something that's nearly impossible to do when simply transcribing things you said, i.e. you told, therefore told an audience or a microphone. Simply put, read a great book and then read a transcript of a speech and see how the quality of your reading experience differs. Number 2. Part of the joy of writing a book is the journey of not exactly knowing where each sentence and chapter is going. For me, it is anyway, even as I'm writing it. Writing yourself into and then out of corners, that's like its own creative writing journey in itself. And those are the experiences that actually make us better writers. Or for first-time authors, writing yourself into and out of corners might be the thing that turns you into a writer. Number 3, difference between written and spoken words. Writing, rather than speaking your book, gives you the opportunity to create a flow, organization, and overall architecture to your book. You're not at the mercy of however you happen to verbally speak your book, however you happen to just ramble it out into a microphone. Talking, as we know, as I'm demonstrating here, can be sometimes choppy and disjointed and all over the place. Trying to edit what is really not much more than a transcribed speech. Here's an important point here. If you try to edit basically you just kind of talking like you just casually talk about your book, into a recorder and then you have a transcript, if you're just trying to edit that, that can take much longer. Like, I've seen this, significantly much longer than it would have taken for you to just write your book as a book in the first place. So for those of you that think that speaking your book is going to save you time, the editing process might just take so much longer than it would take for a book that you originated as the written word that it might not even be worth your trouble. So these are just 3 things to think about. And overall, writing rather than speaking your book, it's an opportunity to marvel at the magic of words. It's an incredible journey of tens and tens of thousands of words. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook for feedback on today's episode and motivation, accountability, book writing, publishing resources, and more. Inc. Authors on Facebook. Until tomorrow, happy writing.